Greetings, I'm Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator, today with Pillar Loves Tabletop Games. Today's episode, Sekigahara, the Unification of Japan. Goal of the game is to eliminate the opposing leader. Tokugawa Ieyasu is trying to eliminate Ishida Mitsunari, who is trying to eliminate him in kind. In addition, Tokugawa can attempt to capture Toyotomi by sieging Osaka and pulling that off. Good luck with that. As part of the setup, you will get certain blocks at certain locations. So you look at the bottom right, and if it has that symbol, it'll start there. All the squares that start in Edo, circles in Sendai, stars in Kyosu, and so on and so forth for the others. It will show a plus and a number, and you'll draw randomly from your bag of blocks to deploy there. You'll shuffle your deck of loyalty cards and draw a starting hand of 5. You'll start in control of any resource locations you occupy, and you'll proceed to the first turn. The game is broken down into 7 weeks. The start of each week is reinforcements, with the exception of the first week. Everything's been set up, so you don't need to do the reinforcements yet. But starting in week 2, you'll get 2 new blocks to your reinforcement box. And then weeks 5 through 7 is 1. But the actual order for reinforcements goes discard half of your hand rounded down. Then draw 5 cards, plus 6 if you have more castles. You own the castles you occupy. Otherwise, they revert to their original controller. And then you add blocks based on the week. So 2, and then eventually 1. But if you have more resource locations, which are all the red dots, you'll get 1 more. If there's a tie for resource locations, both players get 1 more. And then you will bid cards for turn order. So what you'll do is prepare 1 card, I believe. I'm still new to this game, so it's going to be a little bit stumbling through the rules. Yeah, 1 single card. The higher number gets to make the choice of going first or second during each step of the week. So there's A, and then there's B. If you're going first, you will do all your movement and combat. Your opponent will do their movement and combat. They'll move to the B part of the week, and you'll do your movement and combat. They'll do theirs, and they'll go to the next week, and it'll bid for turn order again. But let's say Tokugawa wins this with the 4, but they want to see what Ishida is going to do, so they decide to make them go first. The cards used this way are discarded. If you need to draw new cards, you can reshuffle your discard to make a new deck. So, to move, you have to buy movement with your cards. You can decide not to move at all and just discard a number of cards from your hand and draw that many. You can move by not discarding any cards and choose to either muster or move one stack. If you discard a card, you can move up to 3 stacks. This is technically one stack, it's just stacking them that high makes me nervous. And you can use you can give up one of your 3 moves to muster. If you discard 2 cards, all of your stacks can move, if you'd like, and you get a free muster action as well. To muster, you have 2 choices. Reveal that you are taking more than one of a given mon and deploy it to that location. Or secretly take one of them. You don't need to reveal it to your opponent, but you do put it on one of your reinforcement locations. Which will be either here, for Ishida will be here, here, or here. And for Tokugawa, it'll be here, 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 or here. So your choice is bring out a bunch of reinforcements, but make it clearer that you're bringing out that many. Or secretly build up a little bit somewhere that your opponent's not going to be able to guess right away what their loyalty is going to be. But actually moving, you'll pick a stack. You can break it down into a subgroup. You're limited to moving a given block once per turn, and you're limited to using a given road once per turn. You do have to stop if you move into enemy locations, unless you have 4 times their blocks and they're not holed up in a castle. Which is you can overrun them. For example, let's see here. Let's say we got a block right here. And we got 4 of our own right here. You can overrun and then continue moving. Overrunning will remove a block completely. Actual movement. You have 1 space of movement for move. If you start move entirely on and end on the highway, you get a bonus move of 1. If you start your move with leadership, which is capital, castle, or straight up reveal that you've got a daimyo, you get +1. You can discard a card from your hand to make it a forced march and add +1. So the maximum movement you get potentially is 4. This number is then reduced based on how much you're moving, army-wise. The bigger the army, the harder it is to move. Up to 4 blocks, no penalty. Up to 8, -1. Up to 12, -2. Up to 16, -3. At 17 or more, they're just not moving at all. You're going to have to break them down into subgroups and move them little by little. If you end in a location with opposing forces, you will have to go into combat there. If the location is not a castle, it'll be a battle. If it is a castle and your opponent has more than 2 forces there, it'll be a battle. If they've got 2, it'll be a siege. Regardless the way you fight your battles. So, let's say forces here moved into here. So we're sieging that castle. But let's... hold on. Before we demonstrate castle combat, let's demonstrate the battle first. Let's say we're over here. We're coming over here. We go. Alright. So, starting with the attacker plays cards from hand. And deploys a block that matches it. Alternatively, if you've got a leader, which they do, as long as you're deploying leaders, you can deploy them with no card required. But as soon as you start deploying other units, any further leaders will require you to discard the matching card. So let's say for free, we reveal this leader and add the impact. Impact is based on the number of bone. So the attacker now has a 1 impact. And now the initiative switches over to the other side because they're currently in the lead. If you have a double card, you can play 2 blocks, one right after the other. So, here, and then here. So you'll get 2, and then 1 plus 1 for each of the previous ones played. In order to have gotten the gun or cavalry bonus, I would need to play a matching mon with a sword, which adds 2, plus 2 for every previously played special of that type, either the gun or the cavalry. So lots of guns or lots of cavalry. Now, in response to someone playing, you have the option to play a loyalty challenge. That player must then reveal another card of that type. If they don't, they switch sides. Loyalty challenges will not work in a siege, however, so keep that in mind. Neither will guns or cavalry. But let's say we didn't have that. Alright, so it was 2, and another 1 plus 1 for the previously played block. So, another 4. Well, let's see what we got here. Certain units, like the E clan, can be deployed with any card. Ishida also follows that same rule. But let's say we just throw away the Fukushima card. And we add another 4. That passes the initiative back to Ishida. And they have no more blocks to deploy. So, as soon as the player who has the initiative passes, the other player has all the opportunity they need to try to build up their impact high enough to inflict extra losses. So, the Fukushima card, which is special, adds the 1 plus the 2 for the cavalry. Unfortunately, that would add 3. If I wanted to do maximum extra damage, I would need enough to get 7 higher, and I don't have a card to do that. So the smart thing to do is to keep that a secret and just say we're done here. Alright. So, the end of combat. Oh wait, it's 7 impact period, not 7 impact ahead. Okay, that's slightly easier to deal with. Like I said, I'll be stumbling through the rules through this. So that was actually enough to ensure they're going to lose a block. They're also losing a block for losing the battle. So they're completely eliminated. They're removed from the map. If they had another block there, it would be retreating away from wherever the attackers came in from. So they came in from Kiso, they would have to retreat towards Kifu. In addition, all cards used in battle are discarded, and then more drawn equal to that many. So Ishida gets another card. Tokugawa gets another card. Every 2 blocks lost in a battle provides a card. Or 1 block lost in a siege. So sieges are weird, so let's get into that. Let's say, instead of a fight, instead of a battle, we had the siege. Let's say they're holed up in Gifu. So we attack here. Reset the impact. Only the attacker deploys blocks in a siege. Again, no loyalty challenge, no guns, no cavalry. You just get 1 each. So again, it's a matter of getting to at least 7 impact. Yep. Siege. And then, because the losing side penalty of losing another block does not apply in a siege. So it takes 14 impact to fully take them out. And again, let's look at what we got here. Alright. So, Date, we only have 1 card. Or we only have 1 block to work with for this card. So there's 3. Can use the 2 Fukushima cards. Or you can save a Fukushima card and just do the leader first. For 1. Another Fukushima card. Cavalry. 1. And then give up any card for the E-Clan. Another 4. I suppose I could save a card by not bothering with the leader or the cavalry and keep my secrets. Because these 2 right here are enough to do the 7 impact needed to remove 1 of them. And they're going to lose that block and get their card for losing that 1 block. Oh yeah, there's... Alright, so it's battles and sieges. I think I might have missed it with the discussing movement, but as soon as you move over a resource, you place your block there as a reminder. So, let's say these guys were making their way over to Kiso. Put their block there as a reminder that if they have more or are tied for the most with their opponent, they'll get that extra reinforcement. Other things that can happen in the game. We have, again, Toyotomi Hideori can be captured to end the game that way. Sanada Masayuki can be sacrificed instead of losing a block in a siege on that castle. Mori Teramoto and his big damn army start out in this box and can be deployed to Osaka by the Ishida player sacrificing cards during their movement phase. The last block to come to Osaka is always the leader. If Tokugawa forces manage to hit Osaka, everybody from that box deploys. Again, big damn army. Here to stop the last thing that'll shut it down. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You'll build up more stuff, move everything around, get into fights. You'll try to guess if your opponent was prepared or not. It's tricky. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. If you do manage to make your opponent's defect, any losses they have to take have to start with the defectors. Yeah, it's history, the board game. Japanese Sengoku period history as a two-player game of secret forces, secret loyalty, and capabilities. And it doesn't seem too crazy long. Move, fight, move, fight, move, fight, move, fight. Then start the next week with more stuff. And you're getting less and less stuff to work with each round. You're just trying to set things up and knock out your opponent. But you gotta be paying attention. It's clear where Tokugawa's gonna be from here. It's gonna be a lot fuzzier once it gets past that point. Same thing might be for Ishida as well. Might try to figure it out from here. Or it might end up going sneakily through here. There's also having to deal with Maeda up here if he wants to. But yeah, it's interesting. I really do want to play this with somebody. So yeah, what do I like about the game? It's not stupid ass complicated. It's the reference cards are only needing the one side, and pretty much everything you need to know are right there. There's no dice rolling, and yet this whole making your hand to what you need it to be in the best position to make the most of it is pretty wild. It seems like a very big brain game, but also it's not too over the top in its complexity. there's I have other GMT games to cover, and I'm kind of dreading them because I know how complex they're going to be. But this was actually pretty manageable. I also will always appreciate with their games both um, historical notes and for some of them the design notes of here's why the this was chosen, why these clans were chosen, or why these people are here, why we've got this badass unit of dudes, the Red Devils. it's This is a game I know I can teach somebody at our game store and they can probably have it down fairly quickly. So, I was incredibly lucky to get this game for a hell of a deal. Um, and I fully recommend it. This game is under the category of History Sengoku Period on Board Game Geek, the top ranked game. And right behind it is Durkan's Shogun, which I would love to cover that someday. It is within the top 250 of all the games on Board Game Geek. So people see this game and they know it's awesome. Yeah, Sekigahara, Unification of Japan. Do check it out. Um, I would love to cover more Japanese history games on the channel. I've already covered Samurai. Again, Durken's Shogun, if I can ever cover that, that'd be great. I don't know if I've got the patience to deal with covering Ikusa / Samurai Swords, but I do like the figures for that game, so I might want to cover it too. Yeah, check it out, play it, have fun. Go find a copy, pick it up, play it, and enjoy playing through history. Alright, it's been Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.